Alright, welcome LEGO fans to an interesting review here on Bullbrick09's channel, because today we have for you a Toy Story review. So, not something typical here on Bullbrick09's channel. I could not convince Feanor and Andrew to be in this review. I tried my best, but they refused, even though Andrew does have this set. But, it's not because I like Toy Story that I'm reviewing this, it's because it has a lot of really cool pieces that I wanted to show you. And even the minifigures themselves are pretty cool too, even I have to admit. So, perhaps not the most exciting review here on Bullbrick09's channel, but something I thought I would go ahead and do nonetheless. Alright, so moving right along, we'll go ahead and get to the specifics. This is set 7590, recommended ages 6 to 12. Contains 92 pieces. Here's the kicker. It retailed for $19.99. A set this size would normally cost you about $10, but in this case it's $20. $10 more. Why? I guess I'll go ahead and tell you now why I'm thinking that. For one, the minifigure molds are exclusive not to this set but to this theme. There are a lot of new pieces in here. These are all printed pieces. There are no stickers in this set. That's printed. And then one of the main reasons is because of the motor in here, because it's a pullback motor, so if you pull the car back it goes shooting forward, and of course that's probably one of the main attractions of the set. So it does have its reasons for being expensive. Do I think it's worth it? I'll tell you at the end of the video. I'll go and show you the instruction manual, which is very torn up, as you can see. Got this a long time ago. So you get the rocket as well, the big one. And it's a very colorful set, red, blue, a lot of green. An interesting, oh, okay, we do get advertisements for other sets. Out of those, I did get that one and that one. Of course, they've both fallen apart. And I would not expect to see them on here, at least anytime soon, because there's a lot more exciting things coming to Bullbrick09's channel, at least in my opinion. We got lots of Star Wars stuff, Mos Eisley Cantina, the AT-AT Walker, and hopefully the NTT as well. So LEGO Star Wars fans, you are in luck. We got all kinds of LEGO Star Wars stuff coming soon. But anyway, back to the set. So we'll go ahead and look at the minifigures. So everybody knows these minifigures, at least I hope. This is Woody. We all know him. He's the cowboy that everybody likes. Well, it was kind of, I remember, you either liked Woody or Buzz. You didn't really like both. At first I liked Buzz better, and then I liked Woody better. I don't know. But another thing I find interesting about these minifigures, especially the legs, you can see that these are absolutely enormous compared to a normal minifigure's legs, like Indiana Jones's, for example. When in reality, they are much smaller than a normal minifigure. So I guess it's just to create that sense of fantasy? I don't know. But then even the arms, you can see how much longer the arms are. And then of course the heads are enormous as well. Got some big brains in there, I guess. So that's probably why, one of the main reasons why these Toy Story sets are so expensive is because of these minifigures. They are pretty cool, I'll admit. But here's the head. I know a lot of you are upset because I just beheaded a cowboy. So this is one of, I believe, 2 versions. The other one, he was sad and dirty and he thought he was going to get incinerated, I remember. Of course, they can't have double-sided heads on any of these. I'll go and put his head back on. And the head and the hat are one piece, by the way. Then, and he was the minifigure that came in almost every set. He was kind of like the Gimli or Gandalf of this wave. So it is pretty cool printing on here. No arm printing. That would have been nice. And we do have a little bit of leg printing, but not a whole lot. And the other minifigure we get is Buzz Lightyear himself. Hang on, I have to take off this. There's a lot of pieces, and I'm going to show them all to you, so if you can't stand me destroying this minifigure, then look away. because I'm going to do it. Lots of exclusive parts in this minifigure. Starting off, we have the domed helmet. It's pulled back though. I'll go and put it back on here. And this piece is really cool, probably my favorite of the minifigure. All kinds of printing on there. Big chunky piece. There's a stud on the back, you'll see what that's for. At least in this set. In a few minutes. And there's 3 holes there for the dome. And here's the head. It's very small, especially compared to the Woody's head. But even compared to a regular minifigure's head, it's pretty small. He always has that weird, hang on. I want you to see it, the weird chin hair. Please do something with that. It's weird. And the purple, I guess that's a mask. And, well, here's the torso. You can't see any of it when you have this on, though. But it does have the, I forget the Starfleet logo on here, whatever. It's a ripoff of Star Wars for little kids, I guess. They didn't really need to put printing on here, but it's nice that they did anyway. Okay. Well, maybe here they needed to, but not above that. So it's kind of a nice touch. Then the head goes on there. Okay, this isn't gonna work. I'm gonna take this off. Yeah, this is definitely a time where we spend a lot of. This is definitely a review where we spend a lot of time talking about the minifigures because they are pretty cool. Even though there's only 2 of them. Then here's the wings, pretty cool as well. I got like this danger caution tape thing on here. Purple for the most part. And they clip right here into the side of the backpack armor thing. I don't exactly know what that is. If you do, please tell me in the comments. And then here's the legs. We do have some footprinting, but other than that, it's pretty boring. But considering that the rest of the minifigure is pretty awesome, we didn't really need much more than that. So there you have your minifigures, Woody and Buzz Lightyear. And then the mini build we get in this set is the big one. Remember there's this kid called Sid in there. I remember that name because I don't like that name. I don't know why anyone, and I've never heard of anyone outside of a movie called Sid. If you know anyone called Sid, I don't know. I just haven't heard of anyone called Sid before. But I remember he's this evil kid. He dreams about ponies, and he delights in blowing up action figures and dolls and the like. And so he gets this big firework called the Big One. And it's really big. I think it's actually disproportionate in this set a little bit. Even bigger than it really is. And there are a couple of things wrong with this and then the way this is attaches to Buzz Lightyear. This should be a blue cylinder, just like this. I can only find one though. Why is my bird being so noisy? Stop that. So this should be blue as well. I couldn't find it, so I figured red doesn't look that bad. And then, yes, that's printed. It says Big One. A lot of cool pieces in here, especially this one right here. You never see a piece like that. And red, it might be exclusive. And then even this cone at the top. The piece itself is somewhat rare in that color. It's either exclusive or extremely rare. And then we have these here, because there is supposed to be a piece, and I can't find it. Actually, you know what? I'll borrow a piece from Mos Eisley Cantina, which it's the same piece, just not the same color. It's supposed to be black. This will be light gray. It's this, and what you do is you put it on the stud on the back of Buzz Lightyear, clip it in here, and now that will stay attached to him. And you can recreate the famous scene where they go flying in the air and get reunited with Andy, I think his name is. They didn't put that on the bottom of his foot. Interesting. I guess they couldn't, though. That would have been a nice touch if they could have found a way to do that. But I guess that would have been close to impossible. So there's your function. Well, one of them. Actually, it's kind of more for display. And then you can sit him on the back of the race car here. Like that. And there's something about they're either going to explode or they can't get back to the moving truck or something. I remember more of this movie than I thought it would. Why are you being so noisy? Why is your eye keep falling off? That's kind of creepy and disturbing. I will be taking one of your eyes off here in a few minutes, though. So here is the race car. I don't know what its name is. I'm pretty sure that everything in this movie had a name. Is that go here? Okay, it goes there. But I can't remember this guy's name. We'll show you the function last. But lots of printed pieces on here, including the side pieces here. Those are not stickers. That's printed. And then the other side here as well. And then this one here is also printed, and it's just the green piece. These are separate. Then red tires. Very interesting. Normally it's usually it's just black or gray, and sometimes yellow. I remember in Lego Dino, a lot of yellow. But then we have it's supposed to look like a mouth up here. And then the eyes are pretty interesting, because the way that it attaches to the red hooks here, green saucepans, lime green saucepans. Interesting use of that piece. And I would be willing to bet a lot of money that's exclusive in that color. And I think that goes here somewhere. Just the antenna for the car. There's the underside. Some Technic pieces in here. I'm sure a lot of younger kids are going to like these kinds of sets. This one they may need a little bit of help with little kids because of the Technic pieces. That always gets a little complicated. And then here is the actual motor piece. It's that big blue piece on the bottom here. And it's pretty much so that every other piece attaches it either directly or indirectly to this piece. And that's so that if I pull back on it, get ready, the camera's probably going to get the shock of its life here. You pull it back and it's going to do this. Oh, it didn't hit the camera. But it did fall on the floor and it kind of broke a little bit, unfortunately. Not too bad, though. Let me make sure nothing else is missing. I don't think it is. Let's try that again. And this time, since I remember the car ran out of batteries or something like that, and they needed the rocket propulsion of the big one to get them moving. And the toys committed arson. They actually lit a fire. Well, I guess they didn't. Well, yeah, because this isn't their property, so they lit fire to an object that's not theirs. So these little action figures committed arson. That's pretty bad. For those of you who don't know, arson is when you light a fire on property that's not yours. Although I think even if you burn your house down. Anyway, let's try that again. Boom! And luckily, yay, it didn't break the lens. That's good. And this will go pretty far. I'll try and do it the other way now so you can see how fast it will go and stuff. Yeah, this will go pretty far if you want it to. And it's going to crash into Mos Eisley Cantina. This should be good. Oh! You heard the crash. Yeah, that's pretty epic stuff. Let me show you on the floor real quick. So there you have it. That's probably what makes this set, why people really like this set. I know the Brick Show really liked this set because they kept it and put it on their shelf, which is saying a lot because most of the time they return their Lego sets. So probably I would be willing to say the best Lego Toy Story set. It's certainly not the biggest. In fact, it's probably one of the smaller ones. But it is a classic scene. Even among adults, it's a classic scene. Unlike Toy Story 2 and Toy Story 3, this is the first one. The first one is usually always the best. Not in every case, but I'd say that definitely in this case it was. Although the third one was pretty good as well. But still, the first one was the best. Classic scene. A lot of people are going to want this. Even not just little kids, but I think adults will want this set as well. It has been out for a while though, so you're going to have to pay a lot of money. So I'll go ahead and get to my ratings. I'm going to go ahead and tell you if I think it's worth $20. So for the build, what are you doing, Bird? You're getting crazy today. For the build, I think I'm going to give this a 9.5. I think I would give it a 10 if it wasn't for the price per piece. This should probably be $15. $10 is a little cheap considering the minifigures, the exclusive parts, and the pullback motor. $20 is a little on the expensive side. $15 would have been ideal. I would have given this a 10 for the build if it had not been for the price, because the minifigures are awesome, the pullback motor is really cool, the big one pieces, the green saucepans, the printed pieces, the tires, the red tires, just a lot of really cool pieces here that people are going to like. So 9.5 for the build. For play, I'll give it a 7. Make that a 6. I'm going to give it a 6. The pullback motor is fun. Other than that, it's a little fragile, and if it crashes into a wall, you're going to have to do a little bit of rebuilding. And this, being able to attach the big one to Buzz Lightyear's back is more of a display feature than a play feature. So I'm going to give it a 6 for play, but that doesn't mean that I don't think that kids are going to like this set. They're still going to have fun. It's just that there's not a whole lot of functions. With imagination, it's going to be fun. But no offense, but if you don't have a whole lot of imagination, well, it's not going to be a lot of fun. So, and finally for display, not a whole lot you can do. I mean, it's just a car, 2 minifigures, and a rocket. But this kind of adds to display so that you can do that. You can move this up and down a bit, but really not a whole lot for display. So I think, but that doesn't mean that it's not an iconic movie scene, in that it might be something nice to put on your shelf. But I am going to have to give it probably 6.5 for display. So for the build, it's awesome. And minifigures, I'd say it's a 10 as well, even though there's only 2 for a $20 set. No, I guess that's about an average, 2 or 3. Unless it's a battle pack, of course. But overall, even though in play and display I got a little bit of a low rating in those categories, that doesn't mean it's not an awesome set, and that it's not going to be fun for kids, and a nice display piece for older kids and adults. So, thanks for tuning in. Probably not many more, if at all, Toy Story reviews coming, but I did want to do this one because you get the 2 main characters, and it's probably the most iconic. It's the most iconic of the Lego sets. You know, it's the most iconic scene that they made into a Lego set. You know what I'm saying. So I wanted to go and do that. But as I said before, Lego Star Wars fans, you are in for some awesome videos. We got Mos Eisley Cantina coming probably within days of now. It may even already be on there. The AT-AT will definitely be coming in a few weeks, and the NTT will hopefully be coming in a few weeks or a month or so. So, stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching, and Random Woody riding a dewback.